nobody in this league who gets a worse call than Steph Curry every single time I look up.
The NBA once had what was called the Jordan Rule, but today there's another version of it that we might call the Steph Rule. I mean, Steph Curry is the only superstar that is guarded like this.
Both who are making contact and holding on to him. Then, as he breaks free, his primary defender wraps him up with both arms, literally bear hugging him.
Watch any Warriors game closely and you will see this happens often. Even at the NBA senior citizen age of 37, night after night, Curry is face guarded, top locked, grabbed, and rerouted off the ball in ways that would be automatic fouls for almost any other superstar. And the league, for the most part, lets it happen.
Referees just kind of let it slide, right? The grabbing, the holding, jumping under him when he shoots. Like, people do whatever they can.
So why does the league allow this to happen to a top 5 or 7 all-time great? Is it because of Curry's play style or personality? Is it any way related to Jordan? Well, let's find out. In the late 1980s, the Pistons created the Jordan Rules, a defensive blueprint built around physically punishing Michael Jordan every time he attacked the paint. The logic was simple. If you cannot stop him legally, you attack him physically. And although the league is not as physical as it was then, this is very similar to what Steph is dealing with at 37. One other difference is that Jordan's physicality occurred on the ball, while Curry's happens before he ever touches it. This is worth noting because Curry's rate of being fouled away from the play is absurd.
Steph Curry's rate of being fouled off the ball is mind-numbingly ridiculous.
You see, this is not about drives where contact can be subjective. It is about defenders wrapping, holding, and redirecting him as he moves through screens. Sometimes the refs might not be able to see this, but other times they see it clearly and just don't call it. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has repeatedly described the way Curry is defended as unique in today's league, particularly the top locking and face guarding that leads to constant grabbing away from the basket. According to him, those should be automatic fouls, yet they are often ignored. The NBA has emphasized freedom of movement rules over the last several years, specifically to reduce holding and clutching on the perimeter. And yet, Steph Curry gets harassed and still gets no calls at 37. Now, unlike most superstars, Curry's dominance does not start with isolation. It starts with movement. Although Curry is not the fastest man in the league, defenders can't help grabbing him because they're late. And they are late because if he gains even a fraction of separation, the possession is effectively over. Draymond Green explained it in the simplest possible terms.
Fear Steph just as much off the ball, if not more, than they do on the ball.
You see, most superstars generate fear when they isolate with space. Curry generates it while sprinting through traffic without the ball. He's so unique because his gravity is not triggered by dribbles, but by movement. For nearly a decade, tracking data has shown that Curry runs close to 2.5 miles per game. Even at 37, he continues to relocate, cut, circle, and rescreen at a volume that forces defenders into constant decision-making. Guarding him is not a single action, it is a continuous responsibility. So when fatigue sets in, defenders default to the simplest solution: hold him.
All he needs is a half an inch to get the shot off, and it's a great look. So they just grab and hold him. And he just keep moving, and they just grab him and hold him.
Everyone knows that if Curry gains half a step, the shot goes up and it ends as a 3. So instead of conceding space, defenders concede legality. So what happens is that the league's most dangerous off-ball player is treated as if he's already in scoring position before he ever touches the ball. Defenders understand that if they try to play him clean, they will spend the entire night chasing him through screens and watching the ball fall through the net. So they make a calculation. They hold early, they bump often, and they trust that the whistle will stay quiet. And too often, it does. But it's against the rules to do that. So why do the refs ignore it? Well, one reason is that this is not just about missed free throws. It is about how the whistle reshapes defensive behavior. When a scorer consistently gets to the line, defenders adjust, and ultimately, this alters the geometry of the game. We've seen this happen with SGA and when teams play Oklahoma. To avoid foul trouble, they give him a lot of space. Now, can you imagine that happening with Steph? Some people want to see that.
I want him to average 10 free throws a game just because he does get fouled a lot.
Already, Curry has climbed the all-time scoring ladder with one of the lowest free throw rates among high-usage elite scorers. He reached 25,000 career points with fewer free throw attempts than almost anyone in that tier. Curry has had to fight and work hard to prove that he deserves to be named among the best. But why does it feel like the league is always trying to make it harder? For Draymond Green, he believes Curry is getting penalized by the league for being too nice. On his podcast, he said, and I quote, "I think Steph also gets punished for two things," Dre surmised on his podcast. One is, he don't talk to the referees, right? Like, so they know they're not going to get cussed out. They say, nah, he ain't going to say much. He may say something every now and then, but he don't say anything. And I think that actually, he gets penalized for that. That insight reveals something uncomfortable about modern officiating culture. Players who pressure officials, who sell contact, who exaggerate impact, often shape perception, which means the marginal calls, the borderline grabs, the subtle holds off ball accumulate without consequence. There is also a broader statistical implication. Curry's true shooting percentage already ranks among the most efficient in league history. Now, if you increase his free throw volume even modestly, that efficiency climbs further. If defenders are forced to guard him with stricter boundaries, his off-ball routes become even more lethal. Analysts have projected that with a whistle comparable to other MVP-level guards, he could be hovering near the high 30s in points per game even at the age of 37. So this is not merely about fairness. It is about historical context, and believe me when I say there's a lot to cover in here. You see, throughout the NBA's history, we've been made to understand that drawing fouls is a skill, and the greatest players mastered it.
Haterade still, because at the end of the day, drawing fouls is a part of the game. It's actually a skill. It's actually a skill.
And historically, superstars have always manipulated angles, timing, and defender positioning to create contact. Draymond Green put it bluntly.
But we reward flopping and flailing in this league, and Steph does neither.
There's no doubt that there is a difference between absorbing contact and selling it. Curry absorbs it. He rarely exaggerates it. He does not spend possessions lobbying officials. And this is where the comparison to Michael Jordan often enters the conversation. For people like Charles Barkley, he always downplays Curry's greatness because he thinks Steph's weak and could not withstand the physical punishment Jordan endured.
Think about this, Dan. Let's be realistic. You know how much I love Steph Curry, correct?
Yeah.
You think he could take that beating that Michael got against the Bad Boys Pistons? Come on, Dan. Please stop it. I mean, the game was just so much more physical.
That narrative has become accepted wisdom, but the context matters. While Jordan's era allowed overt physicality, yet he also benefited from superstar whistles as his career progressed. Indeed, there was a time in MJ's career where defenders could hardly get near him without the whistle going off.
Stop this, yo. I mean, don't you remember the one where the Olympics one, where I think it was Magic, and they're taking that picture of the Olympics, and Magic's like, oh, can't get too close to Mike.
Yeah,
can't touch Mike. Right? Like, stop.
Meanwhile, even at 37, Curry is still out here absorbing fouls, but they still would tell you he couldn't play against the Bad Boy Pistons. In fact, the irony is that Curry's harassment occurs in what is supposed to be a freedom of movement era, and this is where everything gets suspicious. You see, the NBA's commercial partnerships are deeply aligned with Nike. Curry, of course, is not a Nike athlete. So, could that have anything to do with Curry not getting calls? Because if we're being honest, if he got the calls that Jordan was getting as a superstar, or the calls that SGA's getting now, who knows how many more points he could have had? Who knows how many more championships? Is this a way to reduce his greatness? Well, I guess we'll never know. Steph Curry is guarded this way because conventional defense is not enough. But beyond that, perhaps there is something revealing in the fact that he has achieved so much while getting grabbed and harassed by defenders. So what does it reveal? Steph Curry is not only the greatest shooter the NBA has ever seen, but he is the only superstar ever whose dominance starts even while he's off the ball. If you disagree with that, let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more NBA stories, click the next video on your screen.